This is The Brigand Children, Book 2 of the Club Lavender Duet by Lainey Delaroque. Part 4, Chapters 16 to 20. For previous chapters, or to start from the beginning, navigate to the playlist titled The Brigand Children on this channel, or by clicking the card on the right. Author's note: I had to adjust some content in Chapter 16 to comply with the rules here. If you would like to listen to the original juicy scene in the car between Sophie and Damien, follow the link in the description and you will be able to listen to the full, unabridged chapter. Don't forget to adjust the speed of this video to match your comfortable listening preference. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel to help me produce more free audiobook stories for you. Happy listening.
Chapter 16. The next couple of days are filled with what I hate most: waiting. I wait for my father's call, and I wait to see if Penelope will show again. I wait for Sophie to come visit, even though we agreed to be more careful with her visits to Lavender. I wait for the f***ing hot water in the sub-basement shower, hating that it has gone without proper maintenance for 6 years. I wait for loneliness to pass as I try to busy myself with anything. Matthias has been working on something new in his house, for Sophie, he says, but he won't tell me what it is. He has relaxed after the meeting with my father, but there is still a note of sulkiness in his voice when he directs his words my way. Tanya has found a small wig shop to work in, and our conversations have been short check-ins. Luna are trying to move some product for the sake of us all so we can have some financial padding should everything become worse than it already is. In any other situation, I would have called the behavior of my allies a soft coup. But not now. I can't exercise any power over them, and in all honesty, I don't have any that would be useful. They're stepping up, and while I'm grateful for their initiative, I feel abandoned, alone. Just when I think I won't be able to handle the quiet anymore, my phone buzzes with a message from Sophie. Come out. I grab a 5-minute shower and put on some jeans, a clean t-shirt, and a jacket. There's an eagerness in my stride that betrays how much I crave some human interaction and a change of scenery. I haven't asked her what she needs me for. It doesn't matter. After I check the security camera at the fire door and make sure there's no one to see me, I sneak out. My damp hair makes the air bite my scalp with its coldness, so I hurry toward the orange Honda parked on the other side of the street. Sophie beckons me inside. The engine revs to life the second I pull the passenger door shut, and we're off. Where are we going? I ask.
Lavender doesn't feel too safe, so I thought we could both use a road trip. Don't worry. I'm not taking you too far.
How mysterious. I look at her profile. The little baby hairs at the nape of her neck, the messy bun she's put her hair in, the relaxed crease of her eyelids, and the small smile that doesn't leave her lips. We drive in companionable silence, passing trees, buildings, then climbing up and down on a highway. She must be taking me to one of the nature reserves nearby, away from the buzz of the city. I shift around, trying to find a comfortable position. I'm too tall and too bulky for the small car, so I sit slouched like a first grader's squiggle. It's starting to go dark, so Chicago is in its hazy state between daylight and nighttime, with car headlights illuminating areas concealed by long shadows. Some streets have their lights on, making the landscape shine with overexposition in places and disappear from view, hidden in black in others.
I wanted to give us a moment of respite,
Sophie says.
You know, just the two of us, face to face. No friends, no children behind our backs to worry about, no gangs chasing us.
I don't think I've earned it. I still don't have a proper plan, and I'm still waiting for my father to tell me his insights into that. I bury my eyes in the distance, where I see dark patches of trees and small buildings. The night is covering us like a blanket, protective, familiar, and slightly suffocating.
I know. But I believe waiting is better endured together. When I go visit Mateo Grey, I will do my best to learn more about his spy and the jesters. But for tonight, let me show you my favorite spot to look at the moon.
She places a hand on my knee.
You looked forlorn last time when we didn't see it in the moon garden.
Forlorn, a good word. I chuckle. As we keep driving on a straight road, I take her hand in mine and start circling her fingers, making pretty patterns on her pale, delicate skin. Desire stirs from that simple touch, and I want to ask her to pull over and ravish her with my affection. It sounds like she has a romantic evening planned, but I've missed her for the past few days, and I can't wait for her to park so I can get my hands on her. She hums sweetly as my insecurity comes to remind me we've never been explicit to each other about what we are. From what I can piece together so far, we're going in the same direction, for now. But what about after all is done? I can't make her love a place that caused her pain. But I can't leave my lifelong dream either. I want to tell her. I want to give her an invitation to my life that she would accept without reservations. But I don't know what exactly it is that she's seeking yet. Maybe she doesn't know either.
We're here,
Sophie announces and leans in for a kiss. I give her a peck, then she pulls away and looks at me. Her dark eyes sparkle like those of a wide-eyed doe. I pull her face back to me, cupping her cheek. She untangles her hands from their driving positions and puts them on my neck. Their coldness makes me shiver. She chuckles, and then our lips lock. The kiss deepens with the wave of my desire. The black jeans feel too tight now. Her tongue twirls with mine with pointed passion, like she wants to lap me up until there's nothing left of me. She tastes sweet, like marshmallows, and melts in the heat of my embrace like one too. A phone alarm beeps and she flinches. Our lips detach. I crane my neck toward her face, eager to continue. But she puts a small finger on my lips and smiles.
We need to get going now or else we'll miss the full moon.
Yes, I groan. We will pick this up right after, though.
Of course we will. Who knows when I will get to stick my tongue in your throat again.
She giggles as she untwines herself from me. Her absence is cold air around my body, so I nestle into my jacket and go out. The sun has set, and the sky is now the dark blue of almost night. We walk along a path with grass and spring flowers, then reach a small waterfall, the rush of the water taking our words away. We were talking about small nothings, rope, favorite shows, and food, but now we stand near the crashing water, watching as droplets of icy freshness cover our faces. Then Sophie tugs at my arm, and we climb the stones around the waterfall, eventually reaching a flat rock. She takes out a blanket out of her backpack and invites me to lie next to her with a pat of her hand. When I'm horizontal, staring at the sky, I'm mesmerized by the myriad of twinkling stars suspended in the air above me. It's nothing like the light-polluted city. The view here is clear, unobstructed, reminding me how small humans are in relation to the vast cosmos.
I've never taken anyone here but Melanie,
Sophie whispers. Her hand extends and my eyes follow the direction in which she's pointing. On my right, just peeking behind a cloud, is the bright full moon. It's a pretty place, I say, my gaze fixated on the white circle as it emerges fully from its cover. The nature around us is illuminated in a soft glow.
It's so strange how we found each other. 2 ex-gang members in the middle of another gang's operation.
I'm glad we did. I only wish it was sooner, though I might not have seen you so vividly before. I take her hand and stroke it with my thumb.
Because you were loyal to Penelope?
Yes, I believed in our family. I couldn't see past my nose. My voice is quiet, my shame hiding in every word. Sophie twists to her side and puts her free hand on my cheek, turning me to face her.
Then we met when we had to meet. You see me now, right?
All of you. I peer at her face as if seeing it for the very first time. This fierce, independent, stubborn woman who gave me the moon. I wish she was mine and I was hers. Then, with my walls down and my filter removed, I ask something that has been tormenting me ever since Lavender fell. Do you want a family? A relationship? She closes her eyes for a moment and time stretches. Her silence is long enough to let doubt creep into my mind. Maybe it's too fast. Maybe I have nothing to offer but my body. Maybe I've made her uncomfortable.
I don't know,
she says finally, and I let my eyes slip away from her face.
No, look at me. Not because I don't want a family or a relationship, but because I haven't figured out what I want to do with myself. I'm not sure where life will take me after the Penelope issue is over. If we make it out alive. I'm afraid to imagine a future that may never come.
I'm scared too. But isn't this the time to seize the moment? Give it our best shot, whether war or love? I pull her closer to me, keeping my gaze on her big brown eyes this time.
Melanie has been my focus for a very long time. It's strange letting others into my life. Not unpleasant, but strange.
She chuckles, her timbre nervous.
I'm skittish, aren't I? I know we like each other. We have great sex. We share kinks. Our personalities seem compatible. But it feels like it's too good to be true.
We both deserve some good things. I embrace her fully, pushing her into my chest, reveling in how well she fits into my arms. And I hear you. Your answer isn't that you don't want to commit. It's give me a bit more time to process, right?
You answering like this makes me want to make it official right now,
she says into my neck. I feel the smile in her words. I'm not going anywhere, Sophie. We'll figure it out together. We lie like this for a long time. Only us, the moonlight and insects buzzing near our heads. It's tranquil in a way only nature can be. But as time passes, the cold of the night creeps around us, freezing my fingers and sending shivers down my spine.
Talking about good things,
Sophie says.
Maybe all my brain needs is a bit more evidence.
She pushes herself up on one elbow and smirks. There's seduction in the tilt of her lips, a twinkle in her eyes that I've come to fantasize about. Take me to your car, and I will help you gather research. I wink in response. I remember the softness of her skin and the warmth of her lips. I pull her toward me by the coat. We kiss for a minute without a break, breathing each other, consumed by a slumbering passion that is now awoken unapologetically. Then her teeth chatter and the cold grips us both.
I will drive us to a nice secluded place,
Sophie says into my mouth.
And I will pull over, crank up the heating, and lower the seats. Then I will let you touch me anywhere you like.
I'm in love with this plan. I dip my lips to hers for a last kiss, and then we're back on the path, the moon illuminating our way. Sophie does exactly what she promised. The car is still too small for my body, but when we reach a dark, wooded street and I shuffle to the back seat, I regain some of my lost movement. I can't stretch my legs, and my spine is still bent unnaturally, but it forces us to be pressed into each other so tightly I can't feel where I begin and where Sophie ends. She is straddling me, grinding on me with the rhythm of our hungry kisses. I feel like a black hole for her attention when her hands slip under my sweater and trace the sides of my torso. I bite her lower lip, and she chuckles. Our eyes meet in the semi-darkness of the setting sun. Her face wears the mischievous smile of a seductress, and as she presses her body even closer to mine, I forget all my worries. The thoughts about the jesters disappear with her breath on my neck, and Penelope's hold on my chest eases. We struggle against each other like we're competing for who can reach more skin first. In moments, Sophie has pushed one slender leg out of her jeans and I have unbuttoned mine. She pulls a condom out of her back pocket, and I slide it on in a rush. Half clothed, half naked, we are two halves of one whole as we join. Sophie slots into my arms like the missing piece of a puzzle. We move, and soon my world swirls. I know I won't be able to hold out much longer. Her back arches, and I release her neck before I hurt her by trying to keep her contained. She shakes and thrashes on top of me. She almost hits her head on the car ceiling. Her undoing tips me over the edge, and after I'm all spent, I relax my clenching muscles, a comfortable tiredness embracing every cell of my body. I wish we could stay like this forever, I say, surprising myself. I've never been one to spew such sloppy cliché platitudes, but I say it because I mean it, and on my tongue it tastes genuine. Sophie chuckles.
Me too.
We take a couple of quiet minutes to clean up, replace clothes, and find each other again on the back seat. I hug her close to me and brush off a stray blonde strand that is stuck to her sweaty forehead. The heating in the car is still blasting on full power, so it feels like we're in a sauna. My eyes droop as I hold Sophie, a post-orgasmic bliss replacing the record of worries that was playing nonstop in my brain. Finally, all is quiet. Chapter 17. After yesterday's romp in the car, a new energy courses through me. Unable to focus it on anything else, I do chores around Lavender. I spend some hours working out and some hours cooking. I change the locking mechanism to the secret door and order new locks, though I doubt Penelope will show up here again. I walk around the empty rooms with my notebook, writing down improvements I want to make to the space. Then my enthusiasm depletes, and I sit in the black corridor of the second floor, lonely again. My phone rings just as I have bundled up to sneak out and watch the sun set behind the skyscrapers. I glare at it but pick up anyway. It's an unknown number, and when a familiar recording starts, I know my father must have news for me. The waiting is over. The voice on the line recites the charges and invites me to take the call. My finger is about to press the button when I hear something. It's odd to hear sound where a silence should be, so I lower the phone and listen in. My heart picks up pace, a steady rhythm of stress and anticipation. It jolts when there's an unmissable knock coming from the fire door. I disconnect the call. My father's news will have to wait. Picking up the same bat Sophie had used to free me from Valerie and Penelope's hold once, I sneak toward the door. My soft steps seem like beacons of sound in the noiseless corridor. Another knock, more frantic this time, makes me flinch. I run through a list of possible visitors. Everyone I can think of has a key or can get in anyway. Even Penelope wouldn't knock. Could it be a confused person, looking for anything but a wanted man with a scarf over his face and a bat in his hands?
Damien Grey.
A faint voice from outside utters my name like a plea for help. It's hoarse, high-pitched, a female or a child. It could be a trap. I should have checked the security camera, but I'm already there, twisting the handle because I hear another please. An anxiety twists my gut. A black woman collapses in the doorway when I open the door, as if she's been leaning her whole weight on it. Kiara? She's dressed in a t-shirt and jeans, shivering and bloody. I can't tell if she's hurt or if it's someone else's blood. What is she doing here? Did she escape? She doesn't respond, so I drag her through the threshold and let the door close under its weight. I shake her gently, but when I realize she's passed out, I roll her head to one side and drape my scarf over her like a blanket. I'm afraid to move her, so I call Matthias, giving him a quick rundown of the situation. He stays calm and tells me to loosen any tight-fitting clothes and bundle her in blankets. He's on his way when we hang up. Any blankets are downstairs on the secret level, so I grab some pillows. Lifting Kiara's legs on two of them, I arrange the others around her, shielding her from any draft. I move the scarf to look at her clothes. The bloody t-shirt is loose around her torso. I unbutton her tight-fitting jeans and see her toned stomach move up and down, like she's sleeping. I sit next to her, waiting once again. She's still on the cold, hard floor, but I've done what I can.
Branch.
The weakness of her voice makes me miss half her sentence. I take her hand and let my head fall to hers.
Olive branch.
She repeats. Her free arm points to the other one. I look down toward her forearm caked in blood and dirt. For a moment my heart lunges. Have they slit her arm? Is she dying on me? Like Layla? But as I inspect her wound closer, I see there's no fresh blood coming out. I can make out ridges in her flesh, a pattern marking her. But I can't decode what it is. Matthias will have to clean it first. I'm sorry, I say, though it's such a vague apology I hardly know what I'm apologizing for.
It's over now,
Kiara croaks. A tiny smile trembles on her lips, barely reaching her hooded eyes. I don't understand what she means, but I pat her hand in agreement. She's going to be safe now. I will make sure of it. Where does this leave Yera? Matthias comes half an hour later, his massive doctor's bag a sight for sore eyes.
You've done well,
he says to me as he kneels next to Kiara.
Hello there, do you remember me?
Matthias and Tanya tried to save her from Valerie's clutches a few weeks ago. Kiara said she needed the money, so she had stayed. In many ways, she wasn't bothered by the shady practices in the club. It had been her first sex work experience, so in her eyes, that's how things were. Not that there was an excuse for anyone to abuse her. She nods at Matthias, and he starts talking to her gently, telling her about what he's doing and why. I get up to give him more space and stand back. We're in the same corridor where 7 years ago I had chased my small son up and down, where I had made memories of sweet laughter and innocent play. But this place is so changed I can barely recognize it anymore. It's not a haven. It's a hideout. It's not a sanctuary, but a pit stop.
She's going to be fine.
Matthias tells me after a few minutes.
She's dehydrated and could use some food, but she hasn't been beaten. There doesn't seem to be any internal damage.
And her arm?
Her arm is a message, it seems. She keeps saying olive branch. I've cleaned the wound. Come look at it.
Kiara is sitting up on some pillows, still half out of it. On her forearm, there's an artwork of fiery red lines and a few crooked circles. An olive branch, I mumble and remember Penelope's words. A shadow passes in front of my eyes when I realize what has happened. She's given me Kiara, but Yera is still with her. And Yera's in more danger than ever.
Something I've missed?
Matthias scratches his head. Add it to the list of topics to discuss when we finally have a minute. He nods. I help Kiara up and lead her to the lounge, sitting her down on a soft chair so Matthias can dress her arm. I make her a chamomile tea in the meantime.
The Jester Queen let me go under the condition that you stop threatening her gang. She knows you're trying to make them go away.
Kiara finds her voice, but her words seem strange, like the lines from a play. She listens to us. Stop trying to get us. If I disappear, she will hurt Yera. I remember her frantic note from the night of the Moon Garden party. The threads that lead up to this moment in time don't align neatly. They're a tangled mess of hidden intentions. It makes me uncomfortable, so I grab a piece of paper and a pen and serve Kiara's tea with honey, lemon, and a note. She reads it, her face passive. Then she nods and points to her jeans. I nod back and gesture for her to take them off. She starts shaking her head frantically. She's still afraid of Penelope. She's scared because she's not really free. She's still there with her, with us, listening. I scribble another note. I'll take them to the showers and put the water on. It will let us have half an hour of honest conversation. After that, you can put them on again. This satisfies her. She takes her jeans off, and I notice how she's gotten even thinner than the last time I saw her. Her pelvic bones jut out like she's been skipping meals every day. Maybe she has. I execute my plan, the quietness punctuated only by the deafening heartbeat in my ears. When I come back, Matthias has brought Kiara a set of gray sweatpants and a sweatshirt. She is sipping her tea, comfortable but visibly more exhausted. So Penelope let you go if you were to spy on us, I say.
She wants to know who is helping you and in what capacity. She doesn't understand how your drugs are still being moved around the streets after you're stuck here all the time.
I rub my temples. She doesn't know about Luna, so she's stumped. Good. I still have a hidden card, even after she stripped me of everything she could. Where's Yera? My voice is level. I don't want to scare Kiara, but I need to know.
She chose to stay.
She chose to? Matthias and I share a look.
Well, that's what she said to me, but I think she was threatened.
Layla is dead. What else could they hold over her head?
What gave it away?
Matthias says.
She wanted to protect her sister. Penelope apparently reassured her she won't be taken unless Yera misbehaves.
Kiara's face is honest. Matthias raises an eyebrow and looks at me, a question burning in his eyes. Should we tell her? It reads. I make a quick decision because there's no use dragging this out. Layla is dead, Kiara. Penelope killed her. Her face drops, and I regret the brashness of my words. Maybe I should have taken a gentler approach.
She can't be dead.
Kiara's eyes fill with tears. One of them spills over when she blinks.
Yera would feel it. She would. They're twins, you know. There's no way she wouldn't know.
I wish the twin superpower existed. I wish there was a way to let Yera know she shouldn't obey her sister's killer. I wish there was a way to get her back and let her mourn. When Matthias and I let Kiara's words hang in the air without a reassuring response, she wipes at her face furiously.
Fuck, bitch,
she mutters.
Fuck, bitch.
She starts shouting, the strain on her voice visible in the lines of her neck. Matthias takes her by the shoulders and presses her into him. As she disappears into his embrace, I consider our next steps. We're running out of time. Penelope is running circles around us all.
The Jester Queen. Penelope Wilson Grey paces the room, one manicured fingernail between her teeth. She has told a grunt to bring Alan Shane to her bedroom. That night, when he brought her to the edge again and again, kept her going for a bit. But she needs him tonight too. His nimble fingers are not the only thing she appreciates, however. Whatever job, big or small, she throws at him, he does. With a smile. A sincerity which is so bizarre it touched her. She wonders briefly about his motives, but reasons the pull of her charm was too difficult to ignore. She has experience, after all. She knows people because people have been her playthings since she was a helpless little girl. It took her most of her teenage years to hone her charisma. Now she can play men without fail. She charmed even Damien Grey. And his father, too. So while she waits for Alan to grace her with his presence, she wonders why she still carries the name of a person who despises her. Being a Grey doesn't bring her joy anymore. Penelope Wilson, however, sounds too bare. Too simple. It sounds like the name of the child of a single mother. Poor, hungry, always sharing her life with a twin she should have consumed in the womb. Penelope Wilson Shane, she whispers, tasting the vowels at the tip of her tongue. A soft knock startles her back to the present. Alan stands in the doorway, a smile already on his face, like there's no other place he'd rather be. He runs a hand through his unruly curls, flashing Penelope his throat. His sexy thin neck, pale and vulnerable.
My queen,
He says instead of a greeting. Alan Shane Wilson, she thinks. She will make it happen. She deserves some love to go with her success.
Chapter 18. Kiara doesn't put the jeans back on. Instead, she is sleeping in one of the rooms upstairs, her jeans and the mic to Penelope safely tucked away in another. I watch Matthias rearrange the stuff in his doctor's bag as I sip on a stiff drink to steel my nerves. I've called Tanya with the news, and she's on her way here. I hope she is careful.
So are we going to talk about this?
Matthias breaks the silence first. I don't know which of the things he identifies as this, but I nod and let him continue. I'm exhausted.
You've been keeping me out of the loop.
He starts. You too. I don't mean anything spiteful by it, just that we've somehow lost touch about the small things. Too many crises don't allow time for proper catching up.
It's awkward,
He replies.
I don't know how to say this so it's more comfortable, so I'll say it as it is. I'm still not over you, Damien. I don't know if I'll ever be. But I see how you look at Sophie and how she looks at you. There's no place for me in that relationship.
My heart flutters to hear this, not because his confession excites me, but because he confirms Sophie's feelings. It shakes my insecurity and gives way to hope again. Maybe she and I need more quiet time together. Private, safe time without anything exploding in our lives so we can get to know each other like normal people. So we can go on a proper date and do nothing but dine and talk about pointless things. But Hanako, with her other partner? I ask.
These days I've been remembering my abuelita. She always used to say, Amor con amor se paga. Love is rewarded with love. Hana has been good to me. Seeing you move on after Penelope makes me want to do the same. I'm not there yet, but exploring with Hana feels nice. Connor's good fun too. But aside from feelings, moving in with her will be useful in a lot of ways. First, I can rent out my house, get a bit of extra income. Luna have been depositing less and less money into my account. You shouldn't have hidden that the operation is doing badly. I thought more money was going into supporting Tanya's girls and boys. But we've chatted, and they're all working.
I open my mouth to respond, but he silences me with an open palm.
Later. Second benefit of living with Hanako is that we can both keep an eye on Thomas and Melanie. While you and Sophie do your heroic thing, someone has to make sure they are getting enough attention.
You're creating one weird family unit in that house, I huff.
Don't be ridiculous,
He spits out.
We're not going to take them away from either of you. It's not like we're adopting them. They're old enough to understand that. More people loving them has never hurt anybody. They've had it hard up until now. An example of present adults around them is only going to benefit them.
I bite my lip to hold a tide of rising anger. I don't like his tone or his words, but he's right. Sophie and I are not sterling examples of parenthood. Maybe we can be, but not now. But I don't want to be abandoned by Thomas. Guilt slices at me as I realize that's exactly what I have done to my father. But did he ever love me the way I loved Thomas?
I take your silence as agreement.
Matthias says.
Lastly, I'm only human, and I want to see if I can make something out of this attraction to Hannah.
Her partner won't mind?
They're in an open relationship and he has 2 other partners.
I don't know, this sounds strange, sharing someone like that.
She's not a Twix, we're not sharing her. Loving someone is not as cut and dry as committing your whole self to them and expecting the same in return. And I admit, I have no experience with polyamorous partners, but I'm willing to try. You should open your mind a little.
I thought I was open-minded, but I guess there's always more to learn about. I nod because I have nothing to add to his well-constructed argument.
Your turn now. Tell me about the operation, and why Kiara is back with an olive branch carved in her arm.
I go to the bar to refill my drink. I begin my story, telling him what little I know about our shrinking earnings. When I start the tale of Penelope's visit, he looks around the place, visibly uncomfortable to be where she has easy access to. I know she won't come again, but that doesn't put him at ease. I tell him about my father's new ultimatum. At that he nods with understanding, which annoys me a bit. When I finish, he shakes his head.
If this were chess, we are in the mid-game now. Too many pieces have moved on the board, and some have been exchanged. But the whole thing is a mess, so we should plan for the endgame, and plan well. Or we risk complicating things further and getting nowhere again. This needs to be resolved.
You think I don't know that? I snap at him and regret it instantly. Sorry. Let's try to get a plan.
The fact that Kiara has been released is very odd. Why is Penelope looking for a truce now? Something has changed. We know your dad's informer has planted themselves in the jesters. Are the 2 connected? Your dad wants to speak to his grandson. It's time you let him. As a bonus, we will get more information. If we can get in touch with this mystery person on our side, we can formulate an actual plan. But not yet.
So you're basically saying I need to get my shit together and tell Thomas he has another living relative who, like his father and mother, is also a criminal.
Pretty much.
Matthias says, his tone unforgiving.
Don't play the victim here. You lied to him when you shouldn't have. He is entitled to his family in whatever shape it comes. Whether he chooses to bond with him or not must be his decision.
I'll call Thomas, I relent, finishing the last of my second drink. Maybe I should have another one.
Do it now,
he urges me. I haven't prepared what I want to say. It's a limp excuse, and he knows it.
Get it over with.
He pushes his phone in my hand. Thomas's number is on the screen, ready to be dialed. Matthias reaches over and presses the video button. My face pops up on the screen. In the bad light of the lounge, I look like a caveman. I'm unshaven with dark circling my eyes and hair messy as if I've been in a fight. There is a smudge of blood on my left cheek, so I lick the pad of my index finger and wipe away at it frantically, trying to get it off before Thomas picks up. The ringing continues longer than usual, and I fidget in my seat, now thinking he won't pick up and I'll have to go through this beginning anxiety all over again.
Matthias, oh, Dad, hello?
Thomas's face replaces mine on the screen. I smile without meaning to when I see his pale young features shaped by joy. Hannah and Melanie are behind him, cooking something in the background. Dinner time? It's already 10 p.m., I say. Behind the phone, Matthias rolls his eyes.
We're having sushi tonight.
He gets up and shows me a messy countertop.
From scratch, so it took us a while.
That's amazing. Maybe you should save some for me.
If Sophie's coming to see you soon, I'll pack you some,
he says. I know she isn't, but I don't tell him that. Do you remember your grandfather, Thomas? I get straight to the point.
Your dad or Mom's dad? I've never met Mom's parents, actually.
He scratches his chin as he shuffles out of the kitchen and into a more private room. My dad, Granddad Matteo, I specify, as if that will make him remember more.
No. Why?
He would like to speak to you, I mumble, hoping he has also forgotten I told him he's dead.
Like, from the other world?
His confusion is written on his face. Matthias snorts and I glare at him. He shrugs and continues polishing something. He's not dead. He's in prison. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner.
Oh,
Thomas's eyes shift down. I can't tell what he thinks about this. If he's angry or disappointed, or if he believes me at all.
what should I tell him?
His question is unexpected, so I stumble over my words. Well, how you're doing, I guess. He loves you a lot, and you also had a lot of fun with him when you were young. When he wasn't in prison, I mean.
I wish I remembered this.
He smiles again, and I let out a shaky breath.
I wish I had more good family memories. Not that I don't have lots with you.
He says quickly, probably because my face drops.
Just more with other people. Yes, I want to talk to him too. Can I go see him?
I relax in my chair, the alcohol bitter at the back of my mouth. Is it really this simple? Thomas is easygoing and honest, qualities neither I nor his mother really possess. Whose traits have made him such a kind child? I think about my mother, the woman I have never met, and the one who had shaped my father's life so much. In everyone's eyes she was an angel, so maybe it is her character that shines through Thomas's accepting attitude. It's either this, or developing new bonds with people his age has molded him into something new, unknown to me. It's too dangerous at the moment, I reply, but I'm looking for a way to make it happen. It might be a phone call or a video chat, but if you both want to reconnect, I'm not going to stand in the way.
Because of Mother, right? She's still looking for me?
A shadow passes across his face and I want to reach through the small screen and stroke his hair. Do you miss her? I ask instead of responding to his question. He knows the answer well enough.
Not really. I miss Aunt Val a little. She wasn't very nice to me, but she wasn't that mean. She let me have sweets sometimes in the office, though it was usually after she'd done something to make me angry.
I wish our family was different, I whisper.
Then I would be different. I'm happy I still have you and now maybe Granddad too.
You now have tons of other lovely people around you, making you sushi, taking you places. You know Uncle Matthias is going to live with you soon? At that, Matthias shakes his head and grabs his phone out of my hand.
Matthias only is fine.
He waves at Thomas.
I know. Hana already told me off when I tried to call her aunt. Mel is shouting for me to finish wrapping the sushi, so I'm going to go. Call again, Dad. Love you.
Thomas's voice echoes around the lounge, lighting up the place with the timbre of his good mood. Then it's gone. I allow the silence to linger. Done, I announce after a few breaths. Father will be pleased.
Now was that so hard?
Matthias drawls, a smirk etched on his face. He has arranged all his doctor items on the table and is now putting them one by one in their correct place in his bag of many pockets.
What?
Matthias lifts his head, becoming aware of my staring. Nothing. I'm just thankful you're on my side, I say in a sudden bout of honesty.
Great,
He says, putting the last of his items in his bag.
I need someone to help me move into Hana's next week. I choose you.
I should decline, but I don't. I've missed too much of the normal life of my friends. Only if you provide full disguise.
I'm yet to see you in a gimp suit.
He chuckles. When I raise my finger to tell him that's not going to happen, the lavender landline rings. Chapter 19. That phone hasn't rung once since the place became a crime scene. It keeps ringing as Matthias and I share a long look of confusion. Neither of us moves until the room plunges back into silence.
Well, that was creepy.
Matthias says.
I'm gonna check on Kiara and then go. Tanya's coming soon, so she won't be alone up there for long.
He climbs the stairs, and as he disappears from view, the phone rings again. Only a handful of people know this number. The police probably know it too. But why would they call? I get up, a burst of decisiveness moving my legs toward the phone. I pick it up the moment it stops ringing. I put it down. Whoever it is, if they're that eager, they will call again. I stare at the phone, expectant. But similar to a cat getting scared by a toaster, I flinch when it rings. My hand is fast, and the receiver is next to my ear in seconds.
Third time's the charm,
Penelope says, her voice carrying the color of good mood. I clench my jaw and keep quiet. I bet it's going to be another monologue.
Nothing to say, Damien? At least acknowledge you're there, babe.
What do you want? I'm unsettled by her positivity.
Just to tell you things. First, I hope you received my present. I really do want to make things peaceful between us.
You didn't have to mutilate her.
Oh, it's only a pretty picture, like a tattoo. She'll grow to like it. You'll see.
I ignore her disturbing answer. You didn't tell her you killed Layla. Have you told Yera?
I'm not obliged to tell anyone anything.
Penelope says, her words sharper than before.
Which brings me to the second thing. I've decided it's time we part ways properly. My lawyer will drop off some papers for you to sign soon. You'll finally have the honor of calling me your ex-wife.
You want to divorce me? I have to double-check because I'm not sure that it's real. There must be some trick. She can't just release me of herself so easily.
Yes, I met someone.
That explains it. A kernel of hope appears inside me. Maybe her split attention will be to our advantage. But hoping she will make a mistake is only that. Hope. Penelope in love is weaker, but still not to be underestimated. And if that new person makes her even more vicious, we'll have a bigger problem on our hands than before. I hope my father's person has integrated well and is preparing to slip us some info unnoticed. After missing the call from prison yesterday, I'm getting twitchy. What about Thomas, I ask.
I don't know. My lawyer will come up with something. Shared custody, weekends, and so on.
You don't care about him. Just leave him to me. My voice is whinier than I want it to be.
He is still half mine. I'm the one who pushed him out of my vagina. The least he can do is make some money for me with that voice of his while it's still worth anything.
Penelope logic. Had I ever loved a person like that? How? And what does it say about me? This is ridiculous. I'm not going to let you have him.
Are we going to have a custody battle? Using the law?
She says the last words like she has something disgusting in her mouth.
Please, you're a wanted man.
Maybe I will take a page out of your book and not sign the papers, I hiss out in an unexpected act of defiance. She needs to be free of me now so she can be with her new lover. Well, no reason to give her that.
Then maybe my hand will slip one day around poor Yera.
I've pushed my jaw shut so hard my teeth hurt. My boldness deflates, and I'm back to feeling angry and helpless. I slam the phone down, red dancing in my eyesight. It doesn't ring again. Chapter 20. When Tanya arrives, she brings Aisha with her. I have no energy for the young detective's jabs, so I don't acknowledge her. Her eyes are dark and stormy, and I know she is ready to pounce on me whatever I say. I give Tanya a quick hug and take them both upstairs to Kiara. I want to ask why Aisha is here, why Carl isn't, and why Tanya looks so ill. But I keep quiet. I expect it will all become clear soon enough. In one of the private rooms on the second floor, Kiara is huddled in a blanket like a child. Only the top of her head is visible. Tanya walks to her and puts a hand on her forehead, then runs her fingers on top of her cornrows, petting her like a mother. Aisha and I hang back in the doorframe. Tanya leans in and whispers something in Kiara's ear. She takes her arms out of the warm embrace of her blanket and wraps them around Tanya's thin waist. Tanya embraces her back, and when her shoulder blades jut out and her straight hair drapes over them, I realize she is a skeleton, a shadow of herself. Penelope's selfishness is the cause of that. My stupidity is to blame too. Aisha makes a sound to my side, and I turn to look at her. Her face is scrunched up with displeasure. I think she actually growled. Her emotions are transparent on her face, in her body language, in her stinging words toward me. There is something reassuring in the intensity of her honesty. "Where's your partner?" I ask. She points behind us. I turn farther to see Carl leaning on the wall a few feet away. How did I miss his arrival? Aisha stares at me like I'm losing my mind. Maybe I am. The silence stretches, embracing all five of us. Tanya breaks the hug with a sigh.
Are you certain you can protect her?
She directs this question to Aisha, who nods solemnly.
We already have a new name and a place to stay for her. It's not in Illinois, so she will be safe.
She slides her eyes to Kiara.
You will be safe. I promise. We've done this before.
Who carved your arm? I ask, because I'm afraid she might disappear from here without telling me who to pursue.
It's obviously Penelope's doing.
Tanya huffs. Yes, but she wouldn't have performed it. She hates blood, I argue. Aisha turns to share a look with Carl, but I'm not sure which part surprises them.
It was part of a jester's initiation ritual.
Kiara whispers.
New members have to prove their loyalty and strength to her. There was this new guy, Alan. He did it.
I narrow my eyes. New guy? Could he be my father's informant? When did he join? I ask.
A week and a half ago. Penelope took an instant liking to him. They're together now, I think. Though I don't know if anyone can ever be with Penelope. She puts herself above anyone else. She's a liar and a cruel person through and through.
The last sentence makes Kiara's face twist in disgust. She hisses the words like they're poisonous.
And this young man, does he like her too?
Carl asks from the hallway, his voice booming in my ear. I move into the room to let him enter, unwilling to lose my hearing.
He worships her. Whatever she says, he does it without question. It was the same with my arm.
She looks down at her bandaged skin.
He did a beautiful job, though. And when he was finished, he told me he tried his best to make it pretty, because I didn't deserve it. But he said it so quietly I thought I had imagined it. Maybe I did. They didn't offer any pain relief, so I kept passing out and waking up from the pain.
I grit my teeth. If it is my father's guy, can he be trusted? Or has Penelope entangled him in her web of enticing lies? Has she promised him something good enough for him to betray his master?
Monsters.
Tanya mutters.
They'll get what's coming to them.
How did Layla die?
Kiara asks with a voice so low we need to lean in to hear her.
She was murdered.
Aisha speaks for the first time.
While we were trying to locate you and her sister, her body was found on the pier. You didn't know? Penelope didn't boast about it?
I glance at her with a shake of my head. They're going about this wrong. Penelope doesn't commit crimes for the sake of it, I start. There's a thread of annoyance in my voice. Everything she does is connected to the people around her. She either wants to please them or hurt them. In any case, she wants to control her environment. So she wouldn't have boasted about Layla. That was a message to me, and telling Yera and Kiara would have made them non-compliant. In short, it would have made her life harder, so of course she kept it from them. Aisha glares at me like I have taken her ice cream and thrown it to the ground. It's not my fault their profiling skills suck.
She's slowly molding the moon garden to be like Lavender.
Kiara utters when none of us speak.
There are plans to make it more exclusive and to close its doors to the general public. A lot of the clients from Lavender don't want to be seen around a venue which is so easily accessible. A rebranding is coming.
Is no one fighting against it? I can't believe that no one from Sophie's kink community would rise against the change.
They don't know. I'm not supposed to know yet either, but one of my clients slipped up.
Tanya gets up and starts pacing.
We can't let that happen. Matthias and I can't save anyone from the moon garden. Here, we could at least get some people out. But there, we have no contacts, no secret space.
Official records say the moon garden was acquired by one Curtis Jericho. Is that someone you know?
Carl is flipping through his tiny notepad, scribbling on random pages.
That's her lawyer. We all thought he was her new guy who was going to maybe pacify her a bit. But then Alan came and things changed.
Kiara explains. So for this Alan, Penelope's ready to divorce her ex-husband and make her ex-lover run the legal errands. Maybe the Moon Garden's new owner can be persuaded to join our side. If she has scorned him, that would be a great chance for us.
So, Penelope is the de facto owner of the Moon Garden, similar to how she had taken over Lavender while it was still in your name.
Carl points his little travel-size pencil my way. I nod.
Right. Well, I think we can surmise that Miss Labov needs to go into protective custody while we find Miss Almasi and arrest the leader of the jesters and her accomplices. Then, Miss Labov, we hope you will find it in yourself to testify against them in court.
I will. It's the least I can do.
Kiara's eyes flicker with sadness, but her brow is creased with determination. What will we do about the bug in Kiara's jeans? I say as they start shuffling around, preparing to leave. Tanya looks confused while Kiara puts her head in her hands.
I forgot about that. She will hurt Yara if I take it out and destroy it.
Silence covers the room like a blanket. We've hit a barrier, and everyone's dazed from the impact. I rack my brain for an easy solution, and as I look around the room, I can see everyone's trying to do the same. But there are no easy solutions, are there?
This was part 4 of The Brigand Children, Book 2 of the Club Lavender Duet by Lainey Delaroque. To listen to the next 5 chapters, please navigate to the next video. All parts of this audiobook are available in the playlist The Brigand Children on this YouTube channel. As a reminder, the scene in the car in Chapter 16 was abridged, so if you want to listen to the full version, follow the link in the description. Thanks for listening. Like and comment to help get this book in front of more readers and subscribe to the channel to avoid missing out. See you in the next part.